Hi, I thought I'd talk a little bit about being a part of the new Superman score. How crazy is that? Never in my life would I thought I would be involved with the music for the new James Gunn Superman movie. And I have the wonderful David Fleming to thank for that. He hit me up and asked if I wanted to do guitar for it. I was like, I'm on board, whatever you guys need. So I was basically on retainer for like a month doing cues back and forth. Every day they'd send me one or two, sometimes three, and I would just try to send them back as quickly as possible. Felt like an on-call musician. And it's interesting because it's not like, I get like feedback or anything. It's kind of just like I send it, I follow the MIDI guitar, I add some of my own ideas maybe if I feel like it could help, and hope that it ends up okay. But the whole thing just moves at such a fast pace that there's really no time to like make a lot of revisions unless it's like absolutely egregious. And luckily, I think nothing I sent in was too egregious. But yeah, I actually didn't get to know what made the final cut until I watched the movie in theaters, and I was admittedly not too focused on the plot. I do want to go watch it again and focus more on the plot, but I was like listening to the music like, oh, okay. One funny thing is I feel like you spend so much time on the details, like I'm over here really dialing in like a delay oscillation or something, putting in a lot of heart into it, and it's just hilarious because in the movie that one thing you pour your heart into is just going to be completely covered by an explosion, which, yeah, I get it. You as a musician, you work for the film. The music isn't the main thing, right? You're supporting a director's vision. But that's what the soundtrack's for, and I'm stoked because you can listen to my guitar, Andrew Sinowick's guitar. He's the other guitarist who was hired for the film, and everyone else's amazing contributions to the score, David's compositions. Yeah, you can listen to the soundtrack on streaming platforms. You can get the soundtrack. I thought it'd be really fun to go through and show you a couple of moments and talk about some of the gear that I used. So let's hop to it. So this was pretty much my battle station for the entire month. Not this. I did not provide vocals, but yeah, I tracked on my P90 Talman through the ACS1 by Walrus Audio. Used a lot of the hologram chroma console for some of the fuzz tones. Also collision devices. The black hole symmetry for some of the heavier fuzzy stuff. One of the MVPs actually for the film ended up being the pads that I made, and I used actually my signature pedal from Walrus, which is the Chi Etherealizer. It's missing a knob, so please ignore that aesthetic damage. I would just play a chord into it and kind of use it as like a drone pad throughout the score, and from what I heard, those ended up being used a ton. And I did that using the grain cloud and the phrase sampler, and I would just turn the space knob all the way up. I've got these pads here that I made with the Chi. A little bit of EBO in the beginning. also used a bunch of Mercury 7. Another MVP for me was, I don't know if a lot of the Evo stuff made it on, but I did use the Evo, and I did use the Freak Out by Digitech, which is over here. Maybe it's embedded in there somewhere. But yeah, you know, just kind of, for me, it was a lot of just playing around with textures, trying to really support what I thought everyone's vision was, and to, yeah, just try to stay out of the way of the other instruments as well, and really make that main Superman theme come to life and do it justice. So I primarily worked in Logic, and a lot of the times I was given MIDI guitar, and you know, I kind of just had to decide what sorts of tones I'm going for. So I thought the safest thing to do each time was to give a lot of tonal options. So I would record one version, change the tone slightly or drastically, and then do another option. For example, I have the main theme here. That's clean, and then more slid, and then with like a kind of delay, alternate delay slid. You know, and then now a distorted version. And then distorted slid. And then distorted kind of low. And yeah, I think we ended up, I don't know what ended up being used, but sometimes, you know, stuff's just blended together. So for this one, you know, I wanted to play that main melody, but I also wanted to give a couple of options like tremolo pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute this so you can hear. Let's see, let's mute that. So I have this melody that I played. With the driving bass line. You know, but I also want to get an option where it's tremolo pick to have a little more intensity. They didn't ask for that, but I'm like, oh, maybe it'll get used. And together, so an overall summary, the thing I found the most challenging, I think, was, you know, we're all working on a deadline, and it's not like I have limitless time, and I want to give all these cues my all. I found it really difficult to know when to stop, and because I feel like tonally the options can be limitless, right? I found it, you know, sometimes I'd be working on something, I'd be like, oh, what if I did it with fuzz, or what if I did it with octave fuzz, or what if I, you know, put like a pitch shifter on this one thing, or oh my god, well, this would be so crazy if I put DD3 on this one little bit. Like, it's just easy to get lost in the sauce, and I had to really like reel myself in, because I didn't want to just waste too much time on something that wasn't necessarily important. I feel really, really privileged to be trusted so much, to be not given too much direction. So I mean, I feel I'm lucky, is what I'm trying to say. What I found to be really fun and rewarding about this whole thing is just learning about how this whole process works, and gaining invaluable experience doing this. I'm really finding a lot of joy in working on movie score sort of things, because I think the way I write in my band is already, I envision a hypothetical music video or a story or character that needs some kind of soundtrack or a theme song. And I'm writing for that hypothetical thing in my head. And now to actually be able to do that for this concrete thing that's going to exist out there, for people to consume is really rewarding and nice. And it feels a little bit like less pressure that it's not like my baby, you know. It's like I'm here to, for the lack of a better analogy, dress up someone else's baby, right? So yeah, these are the things that I've found to be the most challenging and the most rewarding. And I hope I get to do it again. So yeah, be sure to check out the Superman soundtrack. In addition to watching the movie, if you really want to listen to all the details in the music, the whole team did such a great job and everyone put in so much hard work. And I'm really proud to have done this. I feel really lucky. Yeah. I don't know how to end these.